Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver, and welcome back to World of Horror. And, so today, we are going to do what it is we do every day. Try to kill one of the most difficult bosses in the game without using the mechanic that gets rid of the boss. So it's Moriko time. Big game hunter. A hunter must hunt. You know, I've had a pretty good, this is Thursday for me. But I've had a pretty good Thursday so far. You know, it's not over yet, but been watching some, been re-watching. I have been re-watching Kill la Kill, and I forgot, well, okay. I watched Kill la Kill first, and then I discovered SR Pello, but I'm just saying, like, episode 4 of Kill la Kill actually makes me feel like I'm watching an SR Pello video. It just, like, come on, if you're familiar with both of them, you know. But, I also, that was on my second monitor, I've actually been playing a game the entire day as well, because I didn't have anything to do real-life-wise today. And that is, well, actually, hold on, before we set up for this run properly, can we see if we have coma? Because I actually want to do coma. Hey, let's go! Okay, let's set up for the run properly now. So let's see, Takahashi, first thing, knowledge, charisma, dexterity, and then finally light source. Thank God we don't have to remember the second enemy, I love it. Since we're Moriko, getting a flashlight is actually pretty helpful, so we might as well try and do that. But, hey, I've been playing a game the entire day as well. I've been playing Loop Hero. It came out today. And I gotta say, I'm actually really impressed with Loop Hero. I played the demo, and I liked it. And first of all, your demo save data carried over into the main game, which is, like, beautiful. I love it. Not enough games do stuff like that. But, yeah, so not only did my save data carry over from ye olde Beer Festival, Mermaids, Ramen, and Botanist. We're doing Botanist first, for sure. But not only did my save data carry through, but Cursed Signs, that's pretty good. Can't complain about that. Compass, first try. Can't complain about that either. Let's go. It's a game. We've got some gaming here. We will try to buy the flashlight when we can, but this is 5% Doom if we fail it, isn't it? Yes, it is, and we did indeed fail it, so that's a little bit unfortunate, but 10% Doom is, you know, I only did that because I'm not gonna take the same risk twice. I don't wanna, actually, no, that's reason if you fail it, so I should have taken the risk. But, if we get Jar of Blood, oh, actually, now, I'm not gonna try to buy the flashlight, but I would have if we stayed the course of not having 14% Doom. But, you know, I gotta say, Loop Hero, okay, if you've never heard of Loop Hero, it's a roguelite auto battler. Now, the only dog that actually works, let's go. The only dog that is functional in the video game. So here's the thing, auto battlers are a weird genre because, like, I mean, first of all, very little input from the player, right? Okay, let's not talk about what just happened there at all. Are we playing on medical history? We are. Okay, so it's gonna be one of these. So here's the deal, right? Is when you, oh my god. So it's gonna be one of these medical history games, you feel me? So, auto battlers are really weird, because they're kind of like, on some hands, they can be enjoyable, you know, like your cookie clickers, you know, those sort of thing. But, where you're just kind of like, well, I shouldn't say it like that, because there's no manual aspect to the combat. you have a loop, which is your world, and let's, this is reason if we fail it, so we like that. But, we really want to get to, a freaking Fear Festival after this. This is Kaninko Gatherer, second enemy if it mattered. It doesn't, but, what we're gonna be doing here is, probably... Oh my god, we have gotten injured every single attack that the enemy has done. That's pretty disgusting. But, okay, we'll do 80% chances. That's pretty good. But, we'll guaranteed get out of this alive, because this is guaranteed to be Shiro-san. And then we can bath, Fear Festival, and we'll be back to full health in no time. But, you know, auto battlers can be, like, if they're well made, they can be enjoyable at the start, but once your character, it can just do everything without supervision, they become super boring very quickly. That's at least how I view them. But, Loop Hero gets around this really geniusly, actually, is the fact that your runs don't last long enough for your character to become that overpowered, and the game is difficult. So even when you do become that overpowered, you're still kind of scared constantly, because you could get yeeted at any point in time. And then, of course, there's... So you have this circle, or, well, it's a loop, right? That it's your world, and it's completely empty. And in order to progress, you have to place objects down to kind of rebuild the world, right? And so what ends up happening is the more objects you place down, the harder it becomes. Like, the harder the game becomes, and different tiles have different synergies with other tiles. So, for instance, if you place a mountain down, and then you place a meadows down, then the meadows will become blooming meadows, and they'll become more powerful. Or if you place 10 mountains down, then they turn into a mountain range once per game that starts spawning harpies, which are pretty dangerous enemies, right? And so it's really clever in how every time your character gets stronger, the world is getting more and more difficult and harder as well. And so you always have to pay attention to what you're doing, and there's a lot of strategy to what you're doing, because you have to plan out how you want to build your world, and then you need to plan out your build, because it is an RPG, right? Like, you have stats. Well, it's not really an RPG, but you have RPG stats, right? And it gets, like, it does indeed get a little bit crazy. And so, for instance, at first I thought that, you know, oh my god. At first I thought, when I first started playing, that vampirism was the way to go. That vampirism was really powerful. We shouldn't rest anymore, because it's going to be 4% doom for... it's not worth it to rest anymore, unfortunately. If we could get a stamina ally, that'd be great. I mean, I did ask for a stamina ally, but not you. But yeah, so vampirism is whenever you deal damage, you get healing. But it actually turns out that every other stat is also very useful, so like counter builds are really fun. Especially if you get the exclusive, like, level up perk, where you... where every time you counter... So every time you loop, you get your health, you get like 30% of your health back. There's an ability that you can get from one of the upgrades that it allows you to, every time you counterattack, you get like, I don't know the exact calculation, but you get some of your loop health back. And it's, if you have like, I had like a 58% counter chance, and the hero, he never reached below 1,000 health. Now, I tried to fight the Chapter 1 boss, and I got absolutely obliterated, because, yes, my character can counter, but when my character doesn't counter, he loses, like, 30 or 40% of his total health, which is scary, by the way. But it, like, that's probably my biggest complaint with the game so far, is that it seems like the only way to consistently kill the boss when you decide to fight the boss, because it's sort of like an opt-in process. Everything that you do contributes to the boss showing up. And so, Mangled Hand. That's pretty bad, but we can get it cured immediately after this. And it shouldn't affect the aunt if we do decide to fight her. But I think we'll probably just run away, because we're not a big fan of that Doom. But the only way, and I'm not going to spoil like what the boss is, or sort of like how it works, but, well, actually I will. I mean, okay, here's your minor Loop Hero spoilers. So, there's a tile, well, it's not really a tile, but it's a part of that sort of area called Oblivion, and it annihilates, it removes something from the game, and it can be anything. It can be a tile that you place down, or it can be a pathway tile. It can be reduced to a wasteland. And it seems like the only way to, like, actually have a chance at beating that enemy, and this is just, like, the Chapter 1 thing. I have no idea what's past Chapter 1, because I've only played for a few hours, but, you know, the boss starts, like, putting down their own tiles when you summon them. And if you don't have Oblivions, then the boss is superpowered and does, like, half your health in one hit. So it's like, so what's kind of... I mean, that's probably the only thing that I'm kind of, like, a little bit sus of. Sorry to use that word. I know it's a traumatizing word to a lot of people in this day and age, but, it's like, it seems to me, because I've gotten ridiculously broken runs, right? Like, I've gotten runs where I'm at, like, loop 10 or loop 12, and the enemies cannot take my character down below, like, 1,000 max health, right? Like, my character consistently has, like, max health or close to max health. And so, I don't know if I want to do Coma yet. I want to get a little bit stronger first. But it's like, my character will consistently, whether it's like a 60 or 8, whether it's like a 60% lifesteal build, or like a 60% evasion build, or like the counter build that I was talking about earlier, like just getting a ridiculously overpowered build to the point where the enemies can't touch you, and then you think to yourself, oh, I'm strong enough to fight the boss, and then you just lose instantly. Right, like, that's the only thing that, like, you don't even take half, you don't even take a quarter of the boss's health. Like, you do 50 damage, you do, like, in between 30 to 50 damage, and the boss just has, like, thousands and thousands of health, and does, like, my character, the most health I've ever gotten is, like, 1,400. I had, like, really good armor on, and I had a lot of, mountains. Which is bad, by the way, because mountains equal pain eventually, and I'm not just talking about harpies, but that's something you're gonna have to find out for yourself if you end up playing the game. But when, yeah, we can do this. This potential turn 1 KO. It could have been cool, but we're taking a lot of risks, admittedly. But I think that I think that. On Moriko, I think we should. We also could have just one-shot that enemy with a gun, which maybe we should have done. We could have shot Ritsuko-chan in one... We could have one-round KO'd Ritsuko-chan, guaranteed with the GAT, but, and we might do it with, her, because all my homies hate... Yo, let's go. All my homies hate Aspiring Model. Oh yeah, we have a horrible injury that we need to get rid of immediately. I completely forgot about that. That hasn't procced somehow yet. Anything else we want to get rid of? Can't cast spells. Abdominal cut. Can't run from combat encounters. We're on Kathakatasaru, so swollen joint doesn't mean anything. So I think we're good. We can just vibe. But yeah, so I had like 1,400 health. And when I fought the boss, the boss was doing like 300 damage per hit. And it's like, that's painful. That's really like that is, we should just go for it because we'll get tireless, and then we can use the tree on the next. We do have an ally, but I'd rather just do burned. Actually, we could maybe take the Doom? I mean, I would be killed if I sacrificed Camp Dog, so we're not gonna do that. I mean, look at him. He knows. He knows the situation he's in. Don't worry, boy. We'd never do that to you. We'll just take the burn. I don't want to take... If we want to win the game, we don't want to take the Doom, because we're gonna have to rest up before fighting that boss. Although we're gonna get Doom regardless anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Maybe we should have just taken the Doom. I don't know, actually. I don't know how much it matters. We will take Art Knowledge. For this fight, Art Knowledge is obviously best. For the rest of the run, Daddy's Girl is the best choice. So we'll do this. We'll kind of do it like this. This is a little bit awkward, but it'll save us a bit, I think. But I can't stop thinking about Loop Hero. I'm trying to think of strategies. But yeah, the Chapter 1 boss is rough. And I mean, I think the reason why I'm kind of like complaining about, there's a big difference between having a god run, or at least what, as a new player, you think is a god run, and being able to actually fight the boss. Do we want to do Coma last? I think we probably should? I don't know.
Oh, sorry. Suddenly, somewhere, Emmerdale seems to have disappeared. We'll go back to it as soon as we can, once we've found it.
Do we want to... I don't know if we want to do ramen first. We could if we wanted to, but, I don't know how necessary it is. I think we need ramen as sort of like a recovery mystery if we get absolutely destroyed by this boss fight. So with that being said, let us sell the lucky earrings. Oh, we have a bandage. We have a bandage. Let's go. I just remembered we're on medical history. We have a bandage. So we can actually just do that. We'll take the painkiller, and then we'll just vibe. We do need to go to the village twice. That's important. We don't have roads closed. So that's all well and good. But yeah, I just can't stop thinking about Loop Hero. There's so many cool strategies. And, I mean, I'm like a tad bit salty. Like, what if we got this? That'd be great. Oh, crap. Like, I am a tad bit salty because I had a lot of good I had 3 runs where I thought, this is it, I can kill the...
Emmerdale.
Where I had a few good runs. I had a few good runs where I thought to myself, I can do it, I can kill the Chapter 1 boss. But, you know, when it got down to the brass task, I got immediately destroyed. And I lost all of my wood, which is what I needed for the building that I was trying to make. I needed 12 wood for it. And what ended up happening was I just kept losing the wood. And because you get resources through exploring the loop, and you can then take those resources back to your camp, and then there's like a base building tech tree mechanic. And so I've been trying to get this one building for like 2 hours, but I just kept getting yeeted when I thought that I had a god run. And so if I just left, if I just retreated at camp on any one of those runs, I would have been able to build that building. But because I kept going and I kept getting yeeted by the Chapter 1 boss, I just kept getting immediately wrecked. So it was painful. It was the dictionary definition of pain, and I will I will never forgive myself. I'm gonna go play it while this video is rendering, because it is good. And you know what? I was thinking, like, we are gonna do a live stream tomorrow playing Garfield Kart with, well, hopefully we are. And by tomorrow, I mean today, because this is the Friday episode. But, oh, I don't like, I don't like bite. We get rid of bite, because that's -1 perception. We don't care about the dexterity, but we care about the perception, because that's our freaking combat stat. But, also, why are we about to die? We almost died there, hello? We could die here if I click this button. Do we dare? Because, I mean, we need to rest, and by that I mean we're gonna go to the tree. We can nail 2 more dolls. Cursed signs, and then Inumasu look. Yay. I don't really care. Now, if we could just not take any damage, that would be great. That's I hate that. We will jog around the block. We will be successful. Multiply wound basically guarantees that we win, because we can pull some shenanigans with that. Because that can get, like, up to 6 damage. And we're gonna shoot, so... Alright, here we go, 9-12. It's, this is... Okay, so we can't do this ever. Thankfully, we have a gun. And we got there. That's not that bad as Moriko. It is spooky. But, I'm thinking that, you know, if there's ever, like, if there's an interim period where it's like we're supposed to be playing Garfield Kart, but we're not, I think a little Loop Hero could be pretty fun. I like Loop Hero. I think Loop Hero is, like, there's just, as long as the game keeps adding new things and new strategies to enjoy, as I progress through it, I think it could be, like, in the top 10 of the Game of the Year list, although it's probably a little bit early to start making one of those, huh? Either way, we'll probably just go like this, and then pray to God that we can make it through a short mystery without dying. So we have the knowledge check, the dexterity check, and the charisma check, which, you know, I don't mean to... I don't mean to yell and shout, but we're currently taking 6-3. So now we're just taking 3-3, which is pretty nice and manageable. You love to see the fact that the bathtub stuck with us till the end here. But nah, Loop Hero's pretty legit. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I think that it's underrated for the aspect of, like, a game that you can play while doing other things that's not, like, that's actually engaging. You know what I mean? Because, like, how many games have you played that it's like, oh, you can play it while you're doing something else, but it's not really fun, engaging, it's just, it's boring, and you don't really care about what's happening. Actually, we're taking 3-6 because we don't have a light source. And we'd have to go to the hardware store to buy one. We might just go ahead and do that if we have enough Doom near the end here. We don't have second mystery or second enemy, so we can probably... We do have Takahashi, though. So keep that in mind. Oh my god, look at all those. So we're one thing away here. So do we try to get the flashlight? Probably not, actually, because it's like we have 9-8. We have 9 stamina and 8 reason. Who cares if we lose 6 reason? Oh man, we can cast Multiply Wound for free. Like, this is actually just kind of fine, now that I think about it. So, yay. We've done it. We have slain the enemy. There's no way we can get to 8 charisma, because we won't level up in time. And we won't level up at all, actually, 110, so that's not good enough. So instead, we just take plus reason and then meme quick thinking into existence. Just will it, and there's a way. But no, I think that ultimately having max health stats going into the lighthouse is probably something that, how the hell did this happen? I wasn't even really paying attention. I'm thinking about, like, oh man, I want to get a treasury, and do I place meadows diagonally, or do I place rocks there? But do I value the health regen, or the bonus health, or the... I'm not even paying attention to this game. I don't even remember it. I couldn't tell you what happened earlier in the run. Like, I know we called out the second enemy, literally, but if I'll be damned if I know. Also, this is just, like, most of this is bloat right here, alright? Like, this is scary to look at, but I want to show you something here. Curse Signs literally means nothing, because we haven't cast a single spell in this entire game. Ringing Ears does not mean anything at all. There, we just proved that it didn't mean anything at all. Panic is bad. Inumasu Look is beneficial. Broken Jaw, we haven't tried to cast. I forgot that we even had this. Good thing we didn't try to use Multiply Wound at all. So even if we did want to cast a spell, we couldn't, because we can't. So, Ath Yulazath, BTFO'd. Abdominal Cut doesn't matter at all. Swollen Joint, we're on Kathakatasaru, so it literally doesn't matter at all. But hey, guess what? We can puncture it anyways. Who cares? I mean, that was mostly just bloat. Like, that was mostly just, like, it's bloat injuries. It's bloat, what are these called? Curses? Bloat curses. That's all they are. They don't do anything. You know, it's like you get like a laptop that's like, oh, this is the MSI laptop, and it's got MSI Afterburner, and MSI, like, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's got, like, 15 million MSI things on it. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't... Like, maybe one of these does something useful, but a lot of these just take up hard drive space on your computer. The reason I think I'm thinking of MSI particularly is there was a pretty cool, like, MSI laptop I saw in Newegg that I'm like, you know, if I used laptops, I would be like, hey, that's not a bad laptop, you know? But anyways, you know, it had a good display, although I'm a little frustrated because I did look at, you know, I like displays. I'm a monitor nerd, and so I was looking at the displays on laptops, and it's like, you can either, like, 300 hertz 1920 by 1080, or 4K 60 hertz, and it's like, can I just get, like, you know, can there just be, like, a 4K, like, 120 hertz monitor on a laptop? Is that possible? And can the laptop have good specs, please? And not cost, like, $4,000? That'd be great. But it's like looking at, like, some of the new, like, 30 series laptops, like with the GeForce RTX 3080. And it's like, this screen has a 300 hertz refresh rate. It's like, who needs 300 hertz? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, do you really need to see League of Legends in 300 hertz? What game are you going to be playing at more than, like, one? Like, here's the thing. If I were to get, like, a gaming monitor, I would go for a monitor that... Because here's the trick that they use to sell you on. A lot of the time, high hertz refresh rate monitors can't actually reach that high hertz without introducing ghosting or inverse ghosting, which I actually can't say the technical name for inverse ghosting without the channel being murdered by YouTube, because it has an unfortunate name due to current circumstances. But, you know, like, if you get, like, a 144 hertz monitor, right? That monitor is probably going to have a lot of weird ghosting on it. And so... But if you turn it down to, like, 120 hertz or, like, 90 hertz, it'll probably look a lot better, and it will still look very smooth, right? So, I think that, you know, a lot of the time, I don't think, like, unless you're, like, the greatest Counter-Strike Go player or the greatest League of Legends player of all time, I don't think you need to see those games in 300 FPS, right? Because that's what hertz is. It's the refresh rate on your monitor. So, I really don't think, like, you know, like, when I played League of Legends ranked, I was silver, right? So it's like a silver player does not need a 300 hertz refresh rate monitor. You know what I'm saying? And so anyways, here's a little achievement check for you. We're climbing up there. We are climbing up there. We've unlocked Maria, who I'm pretty sure Maria is actually the smoker, the one who gives you a cigarette for each enemy killed. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. We're quickly reclaiming the throne. My name's been Webweaver. Hope you're staying safe out there. Bye.